Well, the U.S. has now been eliminated from the World Cup. They lost this morning 3-1 to the Netherlands. Um, it's disappointing. It's hard to not feel down right now. But everything I said before remains true. This was an excellent World Cup performance from this team, and I'm very, very proud of these guys. This is nothing to be ashamed of. If your takeaway after today's loss is, "Oh, the U.S. men are terrible. We'll never be any good at soccer," that's oversimplistic and it's not accurate. We are a great team. We're full of great players, and we're still young and we're still developing. We're only going to get better. Um, we were competitive. Now, if you weren't watching the U.S. in World Cups in the '90s and the early 2000s, with the exception of 2002, the '90s and 2000s, often we had no business being on the same field with our opponents. We have had World Cup experiences where we were just hopelessly outclassed. That did not happen in this cup. It did not happen today, where England is ranked number 5 in the world, the Netherlands ranked number 8. We were competitive with these teams. We belonged on the same field. We played hard. We controlled stretches, and we had opportunities. We we beat the goalkeeper twice today. Their defenders had to clear the ball off the line themselves, and of course, Pulisic had one very early on. There's a timeline where things don't go very much different, yet we end up winning the game. It's just that, and late in the match, if you saw the graphic, teams were even on shots and even on shots on goal. We hung with this team. We did not embarrass ourselves. We conducted ourselves with honor and with pride. We should be absolutely thrilled with today's performance. But the way it went, the Netherlands were just more efficient with their opportunities. When they would sit back, and especially once they had the lead, they could sit back, absorb the attack, look for opportunities to strike, and they were just surgical. They were just ruthless in slicing us up. And every single one of their goals was a quality goal from them. Just hats off, nothing but respect. Um, and I do love the way we played. We have plenty of chances. I'm very, very, very proud of these guys. Unfortunately, the cup ends here for us. Um, but I hope that you will continue to follow this team. I am probably not going to do very many videos now for the rest of the tournament. In fact, I don't plan on doing any. My focus is strictly on the United States. And unless there's a Major League Soccer player for another team that ends up doing something extraordinary in the later rounds, this might be it until after the tournament. But I will tell you my plans. I am dedicated to continuing to follow American soccer, primary focus on the U.S. men's team, with a secondary focus maybe on the major stories of Major League Soccer and some of the multiple competitions that those teams compete in. Stay with me, okay? Because the World Cup's coming in 2026 to the United States, and most of the players that you've grown familiar with these last couple of weeks, they will be featured in that tournament, and they will have 4 more years of experience and development, and they're very young now. They'll be in their prime then. It's going to be an amazing tournament for us. That's really the World Cup for this age group. Okay, this was a young group that had to play up. So I'm very, very, very excited about the future. There's absolutely no reason to have that optimism diminished after today. So stay with me as every time US comes back into camp and has matches, I will come back on, I'll discuss them. And I want you to continue to grow familiar with these players, because the best way to get engaged, especially even if you only come around during the World Cup, the best way to get engaged and the best way to care is to be familiar with the team and to know these players. And I'm going to walk you through that journey for the next 4 years. So I hope you'll stick with me. I am with the support that I'm getting, I'm going to be upgrading my microphone, hopefully upgrading my lights. I'm going to launch a dedicated YouTube channel called American Soccer Quick Kicks in the new year, and you'll see me continue to cover the U.S. men and, to a lesser degree, Major League Soccer. Just a final note, now that the World Cup is over, the U.S. Soccer Federation, has a decision to make about whether or not to retain Greg Berhalter. I don't think he did anything to lose his job. I think he has had nothing but a successful tenure as the manager. Whether you think the success came credit to him or in spite of him, it doesn't matter. We have had success under him. And so, but here's the thing. The World Cup, the international game is built on a 4-year cycle. Everything is about building up to the next World Cup. The next 4-year cycle starts right now for the United States. And if we don't think that Berhalter is going to be the right guy for the job in 2026, then we need to make a change now, regardless of how well we think he's done. Because if you're going to make a change, you want to give the next guy maximum time. You want to give him the full cycle to do everything that he wants to do. I think there are strong candidates out there that may be stronger than Greg Berhalter. Jesse Marsh is an American who's had a lot of success managing in Europe. Right now, he has Leeds United, where he manages Brendan Aronson and Tyler Adams. I think he'd be a wonderful candidate for 2026. I don't know if anybody's thinking about that. I don't know if he is. There are other names out there. I think David Wagner might be another one. But anyway, they will have to make that decision soon. I think if you keep Berhalter now and then in a couple of years decide to make a change, that really hurts the program and really hurts the chances of the next manager's ability to succeed. So it is very, very common for there to be a change immediately after the World Cup across the world. It happens everywhere. And looking back from 1990 to now with the US, I think there's only been one time where a manager was kept for 2 cycles. That was Bruce Arena for the 2002 and 2006 World Cups. Every other time, you just make a clean break right after the tournament. I kind of expect that to happen now. I mean, soon, within the next bit of time here. I think we will make it. I would think that we would make a change. Not that I'm calling for Berhalter's head. Not that I think he's done a bad job. But that's just kind of how the nature of the international game is. I think Berhalter has a home as a manager in Major League Soccer, and I'll continue to wish him well. So anyway, stick with the World Cup. I'll definitely be watching. I just probably won't be making videos now that we've bowed out. I'm going to pull for the Netherlands because they're the team that eliminated us. I'm going to pull for Argentina because I have a heart for Messi. I would love to see him get his World Cup. And I'm also going to keep an eye on any Major League Soccer players that are still in this tournament. Shaqiri featured for Switzerland yesterday in their 3rd match in the group stage. He plays for the Chicago Fire. So there are still players out there for American soccer fans to follow, and I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, keep watching the World Cup. Keep watching some soccer with me, and I'll be back to talk to you next time.